I remember this one time we took a road trip around Wales. All kinds of funny places. We both were genuinely happy. I was telling my friend how well we got along, just the two of us. We were basically the same person. I never thought that anything like this would happen to me. It wouldn't happen to us, but not to me, you know, it doesn't happen to me. We did have a lot of fun together, we generally did, but that soon came to an end. But then he became more irritated by the littlest things. He'd get annoyed if I went to bed early and didn't stay up with him all night. He'd get jealous if I wanted to go and do something with my friends for the day. And that's probably when I started to lose feelings for him.
Hey, it's okay. You're okay.
Kira, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, yeah.
You okay to continue? We're all here for you.
I plucked up the courage to try and break up with him. But that's when he told me that he had cancer.
I'm so sorry. That must have been awful.
It was tough, but I didn't know what to say or do, so I just stood there.
How did you find out?
We had an argument, and he said he was going to go off for a drive, and I told him he shouldn't go for a drive while he's angry. He said, "Oh, so you care about me now," or whatever. And I was like, fine, go on then. Just go. And I thought to myself, I hope you crash. I think about that quite often. I'm just so disappointed of myself that I would say something like that. About an hour later, I get a phone call. I was thinking about leaving it ring, but I thought, no, I'll pick it up. So I did. Hello? Is everything alright? Are you okay? Well, what's going on? You've had a car crash. Please tell me you're okay. Have you phoned the ambulance? Well, why didn't they stay on the phone with you? Are you okay though? Well, can you at least tell me what hospital you're going to? Okay. I'll see you soon then. Love you. He'd had a car crash. I had wished for him to have a car crash, and he actually did. I didn't go see him in the hospital. I just got really bad anxiety. I couldn't do it. I made sure that I called him every day, and we spoke every night, all night. He would ask me why I let him drive while he was angry, which I didn't think was fair. But at the same time, I really felt guilty about that.
You're right. It wasn't fair for him to say that, and he shouldn't have made you feel guilty. That's not okay. I mean, you couldn't have known that he was going to get into a car crash.
And that was when I found out he had cancer. After he told me, we just cuddled and sobbed for hours. He told me that he'd start having seizures, but I wasn't allowed to phone the ambulance. He told me to promise him not to phone the ambulance. And his seizures would only last about 4 or 5 seconds, so if they didn't last longer than that, just not ring. He was scared of hospitals, so he didn't want to end up in an ambulance. He started having seizures all the time, all night. And they'd only last like 5 seconds. He'd always told me that if they didn't last longer than 5 seconds, don't ring the ambulance. So I'd be sat there carrying him. It's 5 seconds. But I think even if they did last 5 seconds, I don't think I'd ring them. Because I just panic, you know. I'd panic about what I'd do, what I'd say if they came, what I'd do if Justin found out that I'd rung the ambulance. I just panicked, so I didn't do it. I would stay up all night making sure he was okay. I was getting like 2-3 hours sleep. And I'm sure I was making up my own words. I could not think straight. I was just so like emotionally and physically exhausted.
You okay? Hello? Anyone there?
I'm so sorry. I'm just a bit out of it right now. What did you say?
Oh, nothing. Just asked if you're alright.
No, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a bit out of it right now. I've got a lot going on, you know.
How is Justin?
Justin's fine. He's okay. Yeah. Been having seizures a lot lately, so he hasn't been sleeping well. I've had to make sure he can breathe. I try picking him up and turning him around, but he's just so heavy. So sometimes I can't even turn him around.
Jesus.
Yeah. when you talk about it all, you start to realise how bad it all was.
Would you like to take a break?
No, it's fine. It's okay. I haven't spoke about it all in one pop before, so it's just a bit it's just a bit overwhelming. But hey ho, that's life for you, I guess. The whole situation was quite draining. Every situation, every conversation we had was about cancer. One time, me and Justin were just walking along on a day out, and we saw a dad and a child, and Justin started crying. And I asked him, "Why are you crying?" It's because he wouldn't have the opportunity to become a dad before he died. That was really upsetting. Just think that he would never be able to fulfill his dreams, you know. I've never been in a situation like that, you know. I could never leave someone with cancer. My heart couldn't do it. And I was just thinking, don't worry, it's not long until you're free. So I could sleep again, so I could think again, so my head don't feel like it's going to explode again, you know. I feel like an awful person, you know. I know that what I was feeling was natural, but every now and again I feel awful about it.
It's perfectly natural. I know. We've all been through that though, trust me.
Yeah, I was very tired, like, all the time. And I had work along the side, so that was the only place where I felt normal, where I didn't have a boyfriend die with cancer. That he wasn't having constant seizures and he wasn't dying. I remember having this really bad argument with him. He was upset that I couldn't provide children for him. Because he wanted a child so someone could live on after he had gone. I was only 19. I was in no hurry to have children myself, and I'd be a single mum, so. Even though I loved Justin, I could not do that. I couldn't do that. He got really angry about that. He started calling me a bitch and that I was selfish. And that I didn't care about him. He would say that I should do what makes him happy. Because he only had a couple of months left. I remember not knowing what to say when he said that or how to feel. I didn't know the way I was feeling was okay to feel that way. I could sympathise with him because his life's been taken away from him, like just like that. But I couldn't have a child with him. I don't know if that makes me selfish or not. Sorry.
How you were feeling was okay to feel. It's an emotional mechanism. You know, you were talking about him going through cancer and him wanting to have a kid and all the feelings that he said he was feeling. In the same way, you're perfectly okay to feel the way that you did. You did nothing wrong there. It's okay to cry.
I'm just so upset with myself. How could I let this happen to me? Why did I go through all that pain for so long, you know? I feel shit every single day. He's gone now, so why do I still feel like this?
You were grieving. You know, you were grieving for the person that you were before him.
I just don't understand why I didn't do something. Why I didn't realise sooner. Why didn't I realise that something was going on? How could I have realised, how did I realise that he was faking it? He didn't have cancer. And there was no seizures, he wasn't actually having seizures. There was no car crash, there was nothing. It was just, all those were lies, you know? So that I would continue. So I continue having sex with him. Even though I really, really didn't want to.